we begin, as we often do at Being Newswire, with some of the legalities around much of what we like to discuss here, and that begins in Ohio, where lawmakers have introduced two bills to overhaul sports gambling. Ohio Republican lawmakers specifically looking for no online bets, a ban on game props and parlay bets. That would be an absolute nightmare for the people that like to invest, obviously. Limited wagers to $100. So get out, sharks and sharps, obviously. No ads during games and no using credit cards to bet. Again, proposals that have been introduced in the state of Ohio. We will see where things from here. Meanwhile, in the NBA, proposals of their own. The NBA Board of Governors is meeting on May 28th, so just about 7 weeks from now, to discuss anti-tanking draft lottery reform. That is according to there have been a few different versions of anti-tank legislation that have been discussed, but it appears the proposal with the most reported momentum at this moment, 18 teams in the lottery, an increase obviously off of what they are doing now by a few. Bottom 10 that missed the play-in and qualify for the play-in tournament. The bottom 10 teams each having an 8% chance to move up in the lottery, the remaining 20% split. Next 8 teams involved, all 18 spots drawn as part of the lottery. So either way, you're rooting for ping pong balls, and there are a lot of teams, as we know, that are actively rooting for ping pong balls right now with some very nightly embarrassing performances, hefty digit spreads, and yet still failing to cover. Takes us into the end. It was late last night. Noteworthy, though, because we saw the return of Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons from the collapsed lung. People wondered when that happened, only a couple of whether we'd see him again this year, period. Would it be before the playoffs? There's some thought to the return, the momentum to come back late here in the regular season with just a few games left to apply for an exemption to all NBA recognition. That has been a lot of the talking point of late, the postseason awards and players, a mountain of them failing to qualify but not reaching the 65-game threshold. But most importantly, if you're a Pistons fan, Cade Cunningham looks solid in the return. Again, first game since March 17th, so been a couple of weeks, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, only played 25 minutes. The Pistons blew out the Bucks, another tanking team, 137 to 111. The Pistons did cover as a 22.5-point home favorite. Now, no Giannis, no basically anyone not named Ryan Rollins there, pardon me, on the Bucks side of things. But Pistons, just another easy win. Rollins, by the way, 23 points in the loss for Milwaukee. But Cade, on how he felt in his return, let's hear from him.
How did you feel physically and where you're at right now in your recovery?
Yeah, I felt really good. I feel like I got some really good cardio in today. Everything felt good. I feel like all the training and stuff I've been doing had me in a great place where I was comfortable for all of my minutes, so it was good.
Pistons, the top team in the Eastern Conference, the top team in the entire NBA, Oklahoma City Thunder. That has been clinched with last night's 128-110 win in LA against the Clippers. The Thunder, the number 1 overall seed, now entering the playoffs, covering as an 8.5-point road favorite. SGA continues the streak, 20 points right on the nose, 11 assists. Chet Holmgren blew up. He had 30 points, 14 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard on the other side, pretty quiet, didn't play a lot late. 20 points, 8 rebounds for him. SGA on, again, after a title last year and such incredible dominance and an MVP in line for maybe all of those same things again.
It feels better for sure. Not only because we've had to weather a little bit more, but just like repeating something and doing it again is always a little bit harder. It's a little more challenging. The league gets better, players get better. And for us to still have the best overall record through that and ups and downs speaks volumes to the teams, speaks volumes to the guys in the summertime getting better individually, coaching staff getting better individually. And we always say at the beginning of the season, like, no matter what happened, we have to earn what we get in making the playoffs in our seeding, and we earned first overall seed.
Wouldn't just assume that Oklahoma City is going to roll to a title. You got a challenging Western Conference, in particular San Antonio. The Spurs have had the Thunder's number during the regular season. And what about the Denver Nuggets? Nuggets, you will not forget, took OKC deep, 7 games into an exhilarating series last year in the postseason. Could we get the rematch? Maybe. And this team is hotter than the sun right now. Nuggets, 10 straight wins for the first time in the Jokic and Murray era, if you can believe it. 136-119 the win against the lousy Grizzlies. 10th straight victory. The Grizzlies did cover as 23.5-point road dogs in this one. Jokic triple-double, the 34th of his season. 14 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists as well. Jamal Murray, 26 points in this one. David Adelman, the head coach of the Nuggets, on this team's success.
It says a lot about the group staying with it during this period of time. And I think in this league, especially this season that's been so unique with the schedule change, the streaming stations, all those things, when your schedule breaks your way, you have to take advantage of it. And we've done that. You know, we've had a homestand finally, first one since last year, it feels like. And the guys have taken advantage of that. We've won some close games on the road where people say you're supposed to go win. No one's supposed to do anything in the NBA. I don't know if that's a newsflash for everybody, but these games, you play 48 minutes for a reason, sometimes longer. So, yeah, I'm proud of it. You know, 10 in a row is a real deal. Like, it's a real thing. And for those two guys, shocking that we never did it, but cool that we did it, you know, this year.
Cavaliers barely covered as 4.5-point favorites, did get the win against the Hawks, 122-116. Donovan Mitchell, there were questions as to whether he would play. He did. 31.7 rebounds. James Harden, 21 points and a handful of boards as well. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the favorite for most improved player, 25 points in this one in the loss for Atlanta. Meanwhile, the Magic, a 4th straight win, heating up at the right time, trying to climb themselves into the playoffs and not just a play-in tournament team. We'll see. Time is ticking down on that, obviously, late here in the regular season. Took care of the Wolves, 132-120, also barely with the 12-point, 10.5-point favorites. Paolo Banchero, 20 points in this one, had 8 rebounds. Desmond Bane, 18 points. Anthony Edwards did not play for the Timberwolves, one of many key contributors from Minnesota that sat out. We go over to the Diamond, and again, early day baseball today, but there was some fun last night. Blue Jays snapped a 6-game skid in their series finale with a 4-3 victory against the Dodgers. The Blue Jays won as home dogs, scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th to even the game at 3, then the go-ahead run in the 8th. Dylan Cease, solid 1 earned run of the 2 allowed in starting for Toronto. No decision as well for Shohei Ohtani, who continues to be incredible. Allowed 1 run. It was not earned in his 6 innings. This is now 22 1/3 straight innings pitched for Ohtani without allowing an earned run, the longest active streak in baseball. This dude could be a Cy Young candidate every single year, never mind the MVP as well for what he does with the bat. Freddie Freeman drove in a run, 2 for 5. George Springer, an RBI in this one for Toronto, 2 for 5 as well. Rockies beat the Astros, completed their sweep at Coors Field, 9-1 the win for Colorado. Won as home dogs, completed that sweep. Hunter Goodman drove in a run in that one. Meanwhile, the Giants, they blanked the Phillies for their 2nd straight day. 4-0. The Giants won as home dogs, shut out the Phils. Rafael Devers, a home run, accounted for all 5 of the Giants' runs with 4 RBI. Also scored a run. He was excellent in this one. Meanwhile, the Rangers blanked the Mariners. Seattle loses 5 straight games now. It was 3-0. Rangers won that game.